Yes, well, here we are, hungry, frustrated. I have to confess that I just lost my temper and resulted in quite a lot of laughter from behind me. Both Senzo and David found it very funny when I fell on my face. I stepped into a hole and tripped over a stick at the same time. Well, I took revenge on that stick. I hit it 4 times and it broke 3 times. That stick is not going to harm me or anyone else ever again. Now, in order to help myself through this tragic and trying event, I'm going to have a snack. This is the berry of Kruger flavescens, or the sandpaper raisin. It's a little bit like apricots. That one is not ripe. It's disgusting. David, come over here. Here is a ripe one. Enjoy that one. This is your first South African gift.
Thanks. The sugar levels are getting low.
The sugar levels are getting low. Well, let's hope this improves them by a very minuscule amount. Yes? What do you think? Did you swallow it?
Oh, it's gone.
Gone?
Yeah, they survived.
I doubt it. But let's see.
Give me another one. I'm sure it'll survive.
You think you'll survive another one?
100%.
All right, well, there you go. Try that one.
Really.
I don't think there are many very ripe ones on this bush. Senzo, do you want one? No? Ooh! That one's like a lemon. Luke, who's directing again this morning, says that we look very at home in the wild. I detected a hint of sarcasm in his voice there, which offends me greatly. I suppose we probably don't look particularly competent as we look for these fruits, but anyway, it's just like a couple of aging baboons, David and I here. Anyway, that's the fruit of Gruvia flavescens, the sandpaper raisin. Very nice. Oh, I walk in the rain. A very interesting inquiry from you. You say, is it time for another hat auction? Is this hat coming to the end of its life? It is, and in fact, before the hat auction stage was reached, I bought another hat. Unfortunately, Ralph arrived back from leave with a hat that made him look like a... I don't know if you remember the first Police Academy movie, but there was that club that they used to go into. They always seemed to end up in by mistake, called... What was it called? It was called the Blue Moon or something like that. Anyway, it was a sort of drag club where people dressed up in tight leather and policemen's hats, and that's what Ralph's hat made him look like when he arrived home. So I had to give him the one that I bought, and so that's why I still have this one. I am looking fervently into finding one that fits my small head. It's difficult. It's apparently Ralph is agreeing that that's what he looked like. My head, you see, on account of the fact that my brain is so very small, is unusually small, and so it's difficult for me to find a hat that fits it and doesn't stick up in all funny places. And, you know, it's not helped by the fact that I don't have any hair anymore. These are the trials of working out here, you know. You know, I see David. David puts on any hat and he looks fine. He's very lucky. All right, let's try and find another piece of biology, shall we? Oh, a last wild flower. There it is, the wandering Jew, Commelina. Let's go back across to a Steenbok now that seems to have evaded becoming breakfast.
Well, it's not over yet. Thandi is still on the move after the Steenbok. And this is now the female. Last one she was hunting was the male. Now, she is underneath this little fallen bush willow right next to us here. So you can see A little bit to the left there, Dave. A little bit more left. A little bit more down. She's there. Every now and then I just see a tiny bit of movement from her. Now ideally she wants to get towards that dead tree. And then I'd say she would be close enough. This is very, very exciting. So Steenbok's moving off. His head's down. There she comes. There she comes. Let's go on to join and get everyone to join us for across the webs, and quite quickly if we can, Lukey. Welcome everyone back to the African bush. We are with a female leopard that is stalking a little antelope called a Steenbok. It's just through there. She is getting very, very close. She's going to pounce soon. So let's just stick on the leopard for now. My name is Brent. I've got my friend David on camera, and this is coming to you live from South Africa. Look how that leopard's creeping along the ground, getting closer and closer to the potential prey. Now, if you want to ask any questions, please pop them on the feed below. Remember, this is 100% live. This is happening right now in real time from South Africa in the Greater Kruger National Park. We're on a game reserve called Djuma Private Game Reserve, and we're with one of our favorite leopards. Her name is Thandi, and she is about between 11 and 12 years old. And that little antelope is a perfect size morsel for her and her cub, who's just under 5 months old. Tlalamba is her cub's name. So she's got to provide food for not only herself, but for her little one. She is getting very, very close to that little Steenbok. It has no idea she is there. It is busy feeding. You see it, you can just see its ears through the bush there. It's munching on a little bush there, having a scratch at the moment. She's getting ready, Dave. She almost looked like she was going to pounce. Did the Steenbok run away? Oh dear, isn't this exciting? Look at her, there we go. She's getting closer and closer. Now we can't move the car at the moment. We don't want to disturb what's going on. Oh, it's right there. Let's stay on the Steenbok. Dave, it's walking right towards her. Oh dear. I think just be warned, if you are a sensitive viewer, if she does catch it, sometimes these little creatures can make some very distressing noises in their death throes. Just to the right of the dead tree there, that's where the Steenbok is. So there is where the Steenbok is, and she, of course, is just on the other side. Now, this is very, very close. As I say, we can't move the car, we can't do anything now. We have to wait and let it play out. We're not here to help the Steenbok or the leopard. We're here to watch nature take its course. The Steenbok has now moved even closer to the leopard. I've lost sight of it. It's moved behind that dead tree, and the leopard is somewhere in that little thicket there. And she's probably going to explode out of there at any second now. Natalie, indeed, that is It is amazing. It's incredible that we're able to bring this to you live from the African bush. A leopard hunting in its natural habitat, in its element, from one of the greatest wildlife destinations. What have you spotted, Dave? The Steenbok or the leopard? Oh, she's so close. Now you can see that leopard's camouflage, well, working very well because we can't see her, but we know she's there. I can't see the Steenbok at the moment. So you'll hear there's other cars around us, and they say they can still see the little antelope. Ah, there we go, I see the antelope now. So it's probably about 3 meters. Oh, the antelope's moving away from where she is. Now, not because it's spot... There she goes! She's got it! She's got it, she's got it, she's got it! Hold on, everyone. There she goes, she's caught it. She's managed to get hold of the throat very, very quickly, as to make sure that it doesn't make any sounds. How's that, Dave? Oh, they're just going to go past the game drive vehicle. There we go. So what she's done is she's grabbed it around the throat very, very quickly to make sure it couldn't make any of those distressing sounds I was talking about. So those distressing sounds will bring in animals like hyenas and lions. So she wants to get hold of that throat grip as fast as possible to ensure that she doesn't bring in any potential other predators, such as I was saying, hyenas or lions. Let's just try in here. So the animal is still struggling. It is still alive. She is still suffocating it. How's that, Dave? You okay there? And just try a little bit further forward. There. Oh, you're in the tree. You okay? So the animal is still alive, but there's quite a lot of the kicking has stopped. It was a very fast, quick kill. Sometimes that doesn't happen like that. Wow, isn't this incredible? We've just witnessed a live leopard kill from the middle of the African bush. Camilla, indeed, nature is phenomenal. And this you don't get to see every day. I'm out here every day, and we still don't get to see kills very often. And one must remember to be sensitive towards the little Steenbokkie. And shame, it's a monogamous pair, so the male's going to have to find another female, but we've got to remember that Thandi has got a cub to feed. So this will go a long way in feeding her. There we go. So here we go. Now what she's going to do is she's going to try find a spot or to drag it. She'll look either up into a tree to place it to be safe. Sometimes she might hide it underneath a thicket, but I'm pretty sure she's going to go from here to collect her cub a little later. Once she's sure it's dead, she will stash it somewhere and then go fetch her little cub so her cub can feed on the Steenbok as well. Abdul, with a small animal like this, you can see it was quite quick. It's already over. That animal's dead. She's now looking for a spot where she can either put it up a tree or stash it. So we're going to keep following her to find out where she does that. She might have a few bites. You okay there, Dave? And we had to part ourselves in a bush. I'm watching. Thanks, Dave. So she might stash it in a tree. She might stash it on the ground. She might feed a little bit before going to fetch the baby. She is in quite a thick area, so we're just trying to plan our way to get in there. Looks like she's drinking the blood. Okay. We're going to have to try and get through here. Lots of big stumps in this area. Now you will see there are other... Have you got a view through there, Dave? And that looks like it'll work. There we go. And amazing, how quick was that? So she's been stalking on and off these Steenbok for probably an hour, and the actual pounce and kill is over in a matter of a minute. Well done, Thandikile. Your little daughter will be very happy. Julie, indeed, incredible strength and speed. The speed of a leopard always amazes me. So there we go, she's going to drag it off again. Now, sometimes, with a small prey like this, she might drag it for well over 1 kilometer back towards where the cub is. Wowee, guys. What a way to start your Saturday morning. Well, morning for us. I'm not sure when it is for you. Wow, that was absolutely amazing, and we're going to say goodbye shortly. I just want to see if we can get you a view of her dragging off her quarry. There it is. So she's from all of us here at Safari Live. Thank you for joining us on an absolutely incredible moment out here in the African bush. A live leopard hunt and kill. Oh my goodness, guys, how exciting is this? I'm very excited because it also means that we're going to get to see Tlalamba today, and we should see her both this morning and this afternoon because they've got a kill. We haven't had a nice stable leopard kill for a while with Thandi and Tlalamba. Okay, let's keep up with her. Wow, 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 guys. Wasn't that unbelievable? So we think she left Tlalamba not too far from here. So what she probably do is try to drag the carcass for quite a while, as close as she can to Tlalamba. They'll do that with small carcasses like a Steenbok or Duiker, but with something bigger like an Impala or whatnot, they'll just generally take the first available spot to be able to hoist or hide, because Thandi's quite a small leopard and she's getting a bit older now, so she struggles to hoist bigger prey like Impala and whatnot, but with a Steenbok she should almost certainly take this up a tree. There we go, she's dragging it straight down the road where we started tracking her this morning. You can see that very distinct drag mark behind her as she drags that poor unfortunate Steenbok. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get ahead of her so we can watch her from the front. Okay, let's keep moving. We're going to try to get up ahead of her to see her dragging that carcass. While we do that, let's send you back to Rolf to see if he's had any luck on the western side of Djuma.
Okay everyone, so we're still working this block, working because we really want to see but we haven't seen too much else running around. We haven't heard any alarm calls, so we're still just working the block, just being patient, hoping that she's going to pop out soon, or we just see a little bit of that white tuft on the end of her tail. And well, we've spent a lot of effort this morning doing this, so we don't want to give up just yet, because I think we've put a lot of we've invested quite a bit in here. What you spotted there, Wiem? Huh? Oh, Viam's has spotted a bird of prey. That's great. Thanks, Viam. Good spotting there at the back. Oh, hello. Yes. Let's have a look at this bird of prey here. Right on the top of the tree there. Now, let's put it to you guys. What bird do you think that is? Hey, everyone. First guesses. Let's put the guesses through. Send through your answers. What bird do you think that is? It's quite a silhouette, but I think we can see quite a yellow eye. And he's got a very there he's defecated nicely and urinated at the same time through the cloaca. And he's got no feathers on the legs with very sharp talons. Looks like quite a boxy head. So with that in mind, what bird are we looking at, everybody? Let's get your answers in. A very distinguishable bird this is, especially with that brown color, very yellow eye, no feathers on the legs, and very boxy head. He's flying quite nicely. Okay, everyone, so we'll have the answers when we come back, but let's head on over to Brent. Very exciting, nice clear visuals of Thandi.
Well, as you can see, she's starting to show a bit of fatigue from dragging that carcass. I think she might take it up one of these big marula trees here. So there's 2 or 3 ideal trees for her to place that carcass in. It's okay, Tans. We're not moving, we're keeping still, we're far from you. So we're just keeping very still. You've done very well this morning. You can hear the squirrels in the background starting to shout. So what she's going to take it up the tree. She might then have a little rest before going to fetch Tlalamba. Now you will hear the other game drive vehicles talking behind me. You can see it's not uncommon for a leopard to drag, stop for a little rest, drag again, catch her breath. Now she's already dragged it probably 500 or 600 meters, so quite far. And off she goes. There she comes. Sebastian, there's always a very big threat to losing a kill to hyenas. That's why when she caught it, she suffocated it very quickly, made sure it couldn't make any sounds that might have alerted the hyenas to her presence. And then she's now dragging it more for ease closer to where Tlalamba is. And now it doesn't look like she was going to go up the marula tree. I thought she might. Where are you off to now? Now she is, again, more or less heading in the area where we think she left Tlalamba. She might, if Tlalamba's close enough, she might even drag the kill all the way back to where Tlalamba is. Cheryl, no, she hasn't started calling the cub just yet. So I'm going to keep up with her as she's going. Now, there's lots of decent trees for her to hoist here. As I said, I think she might be just moving back towards where little Tlalamba is. Dave, I think the last leopard kill I had on camera with you. Ah, there we go. Jackson said they've spotted Tlalamba. So, as I said, we thought she might be dragging the kill back to where she left Tlalamba. Thanks, Taxi. Okay, so what we're going to do is wait behind her now. So the cub should appear at any moment now. Very, very exciting. Now I was saying, I think the last leopard kill I had with Dave on camera was a scrub hare, Dave, with Quarantine on Cheetah Plains many moons ago. Now, some of those squirrels alarm calling could be for Tlalamba coming towards. So what we're going to do is just going to go up ahead, and then we're going to stop and wait, and all of us are just going to play the patience game for her to bring out little Tlalamba. While we keep up with her, as she's still dragging the carcass, let's send you back to Rolf so you can finish his bird quiz with you.
Yes, everyone, I'm still waiting for those answers while we're still on the search for our elusive Shadaloo. Well, that was a wonderful sighting of that bird of prey, and wonderful characteristics: very yellow eye, very boxy head, no feathers on the legs, and quite distinguishable shape as well. Cecilia, unfortunately, it is not a bateleur. It had quite a long tail. Remember bateleur? The other name, or what they wanted to call the bateleur, was a short-tailed eagle. And so when you look at a bateleur, when he's sitting like that on a branch, you'll see the back, the wing feathers actually cross over at the bottom, and the tail doesn't even go past that. So this bird that we were looking at, the tail extended past the wing feathers, and also the bateleur has got feathers down the bottom of its, down to the toes. So it doesn't have those long legs without any feathers on them. So I'm going to have to say that there was quite a few right answers, but Jamie and Anita, well done, you got it right first. It was a brown snake eagle, and very distinguishable characteristics that, eh? And you can see a snake eagle or a raptor that feeds on a lot of reptiles because they don't have those feathers on the legs. So it's nicely protected with the scales, and they're able to lift themselves a little bit up and away from the dangers of attacking and feeding and killing reptiles. So we're busy circling around this block. Shadaloo is in this block. We're on this side of the block, and the bushwalk is on the other side. Let's head over to them and see if there's any updates on that side.
As I was saying to Ralph, these are the kinds of days where you find out if you are a good person or a bad person. I am a bad person. I know this because when I hear that Thandi has killed a Steenbok with Brent, I feel nothing but resentment and jealousy. If I was a good person, I would feel pleased and happy for my friend Brent, instead of feeling the deep-seated sense of dissatisfaction that it wasn't me. This is how I know that I am not destined for heavenly realms when I pass from this earth. Good. Just had to make that small confession, you know. One feels better when one unburdens oneself like I have just done to you. Thank you very much for listening to me as I unburdened. We don't have any further update on Xidulu. I just think that it's a little bit... we're now into the needle and haystack kind of situation. We're looking for leopard tracks in a vast block like this. Well, it's hit and miss. So that's fine. We'll just keep looking for other interesting bits and pieces. Let's look here at the guinea grass. Now, we've looked at lots of guinea grass. And the last time I looked at guinea grass, I said to you that I was surprised at how much there was, and how it seemed that there weren't a huge number of large bulk grazing grazers, really, or browsers like elephants, because there is so much of it about. And I think, as I said to you before, that that is because of the drought. Now, in this guinea grass, apart from all of the sugar that there is, and in fact, my hands are all sticky from this. Oh, here we go. Let's go back to my good friend Brent.
Well, Thandi's just called. We just had a view of Tlalamba coming scurrying in. There she is. She made it there so quickly. She bounded in to see Mom through the long grass. So very, very happy that Mom has managed to catch her some din-din, and they've stashed the Steenbok carcass under this weeping wattle, which will be a nice one to go And unfortunately, I can't move forward here. There's lots of aardvark holes. So we're going to have to move around to where Taxon is. Otherwise, one of us is going to get stuck. Because there's some big holes up ahead of us. So let's do that quickly. You can see holes all around here. The aardvark's been busy. Now, let's see if I can... Oh no, that's just asking for trouble to try and go through there. Craig, the kill roughly probably around 12 kilograms, 13 kilograms, an adult Steenbok. If we nearly went into a hole there, that would not have been good for us at all. Okay, so at the moment it's easier for the leopards to feed on the ground, so that's what they'll probably do. I think they will stash it up into this pultiforum, or the weeping wattle that's there. Now, as you can see, this is the edge of those aardvark burrows, that some of them that have collapsed, so that's why I didn't want to drive in there, because they would collapse. So they're just in this little thicket here. I don't know if we're going to get much of a view, unfortunately. There we go, you see her eating there. Yeah, it's very, very thick in there. You can see. There we go. Well done, Thandi. Now what happens now, I think she's resting, giving herself a preen, while Tlalamba will be feeding. Well, as I say, I think from the tracks we had of Tlalamba, we're less than a kilometer from where she caught that Steenbok. So we knew she was close by, and as soon as she started dragging it this way, I'm pretty sure she dragged it almost to exactly where she had left Tlalamba, so it was much easier for them to come out. Nita, Tlalamba I think is a bit old to be suckling now. I haven't seen Tlalamba suckle once in the last 6 weeks, so no, I don't think she's still suckling. She's on a meat diet at the moment. Okay, so that's Thandi. We'll try and get around. These holes are making life a little bit difficult. Okay, I'm going to have to go the long way around. As little Steenbok like that, Carol, that'll probably last them till tomorrow afternoon. It all depends on how hungry little Tlalamba is. If she eats quite a lot, then it could be gone even by end of safari tomorrow morning. But most likely till tomorrow afternoon, or during the day, at some point tomorrow, that carcass will be finished. That is, of course, unless they lose it to hyenas. Hopefully not. Hopefully she does put it in a tree. Thandi isn't the biggest hoister of kills. Quite often she will leave kills on the ground. But I'm hoping, because it's small enough, that she might take it up a tree. Okay. Let's try to see if we can get a view of Tlalamba feeding. Now, oh dear, these aardvark poles are everywhere. Whoop, there we go. Just collapsed, we didn't go too deep, fortunately. You got a gap through there, Darby. I think. Have you got her there? No, okay, I'll try from the other side. It's hopefully going backwards we don't sink even more. Okay, let's try from in front of Tax there. I think we're talking about Tlalambas up here. Okay, let's just have one quick squiz. Anyway, while we try to get a good view, let's just wait here. It looks like the little one's up there somewhere. But while we figure out exactly what's going on here, we'll send you back across to Ralph.
So everyone, this is very exciting now. We're hoping that we've actually gotten much closer to Shadaloo. The impala have been going nuts just in this area near to Impala Plains, and well, she's here somewhere. She's here somewhere. So we're just trying to catch up with her now. Those impala were going crazy over there. We've driven in there. We didn't see her, so we've just come around a little bit more. She is an elusive cat indeed. I'm hoping that she's come back onto the road. But let's just see. She's in here somewhere now, and these impala have really given us a lovely clue. But it can be really frustrating, hey? Jish. Robert, you're asking around which prey is the most fearless. Well, oh, here she is. There we go. There she is. There we are. Finally, everyone, we have her. Okay, I would have to say the most fearless prey is probably an impala ram when they're busy rutting. And, well, look at that. Now, we could have driven past her numerous occasions while she was just doing that. But thank you to the impala for having indicated exactly where she is. Well, almost. We just knew she was in the area. So we've driven around and finally managed to get in nice and close to her. I will move in slightly closer in a minute. We'll just let her relax with our presence and just respect her space. She's quite happy where we are at the moment. She's carrying on grooming. And, well, the payoff of having, you know, James heard the alarm calls this morning, first thing, and he said to us if we're interested, we can come and have a look. And then we were on the tracks and trying to trail her, and eventually now we've found her right near to the end of the drive. But I'm just going to move a little bit closer here, everyone, and give us a bit of a better angle. Now, Paula, I agree 100% with you. Nice find. It is absolutely perfect. You see how she's breathing quite heavily? She's been on the move. She's been on the move. We've got another vehicle coming in here. And very difficult for them to see. She's very close here. There she is. There she's standing up now. Wow. Beautiful. The squirrels have been alarm calling. We've really had to listen to use all our senses, all our tracking skills, and we've done it as a bit of a team as well, everybody. You know, James on foot, me on vehicle. We've also listened to the impala. We've listened to the squirrels. We also got a little bit of intel from the guys that stopped for a coffee break, and they heard the impala making a noise, and they said, come and have a look this side. Maybe she's here nearby. And, well, eventually it paid off. Paula, Shadaloo's, if I'm not mistaken, she's about 3 years old. She's between 3 and 4 years old, I would say. So she's literally in her prime. She's probably going to walk just in front of the vehicle now. So you might see the top of my head as she goes past. I will just duck down a little bit. There she is. See that? She's going just in front of us there. I'll just put my head down so you can see her nicely. There she comes. Looks like she might be in a bit of a hunting mode. Probably not happy that all these squirrels, etc., are making a noise near to her. Now, Tokyo. You want to know how far the Thandi and Cub are? Well, they're still quite a distance away from here. I would say probably about 2.5 miles, maybe 2.5 miles. So I wouldn't say that there's going to be any interaction between Thandi and Shadaloo at the moment. It's got a very thick white tip to the end of her tail. That's often the only thing that we see. Eloise, it's always difficult to tell if leopards are pregnant, and that's one of the things with predators, because even while they're pregnant, they still need to be hunting and continuing on as usual, and they also have competition with other predators, so they don't really show much in the way of being pregnant. They probably show a lot more when they've gorged themselves on some meat, rather than actually showing a big belly when they are holding a young one inside. So let's try and catch up a little bit here. So to answer that question, I wouldn't know if she's pregnant, and generally you don't know if they're pregnant. There's a slight sort of thickening to the belly rather than growth. And there she is out on the road now. Wow, what a beautiful cat she is, eh? Look at that. Ivy, yes, she does have very intent eyes and very similar type characteristics to Hukumuri as well. And it is believed that Hukumuri has been mating with her, and I would love to see the kind of cubs that come out from Hukumuri and Xidulu. I think that would be, geesh, the gene mix there would be fascinating. So she's gone in there. I think I'm going to follow. It would be silly of us not to. I'm not going to leave her now. We've spent too much time trying to find her. Okay, and she's spotted some impala there, so we're going to continue following her through here, and we'll see what happens if she actually decides to go for the hunt. But speaking of a leopard with a hunt, let's go back to Brent and our wonderful Thandi.
Well, there we go, Thandi and Tlalamba. Tlalamba busy being groomed by Mom. The kill just behind them. As I said, they don't seem too hungry because they haven't started munching just yet. A bit of mother-daughter time before getting stuck into that poor little Spenne. Now, Spenne is the Shangaan name for a Steenbok. Doing a bit of de-ticking. Come on, Tlalamba, show us your face. Stop getting all the tickles from Mom. Matt, I would say it's instinctual. Their movements back to the exact spot where they left their cubs and whatnot is ingrained in them. So there we go, there's little Tlalamba looking at us now. Here we go. Isn't that wonderful? So, here we go. Look at biting Mom's ears, having the best time. Azura, yes, if a male leopard happened upon here, it would steal the kill from them. But it's unlikely that there's going to be another female in this area, unless Shadaloo goes on a very long walk. This is very much almost the core area of Thandi's territory at the moment. Isn't this special? And yeah, back to playing with Mom's ears. Oh, and now we're going to give Mom a bit of a lick. Now, Thandi has been giving us quite the runaround over the last week, but when we do find her, it is turning out to be worthwhile. So, what an amazing morning to have her catch a Steenbok right next to us, drag it off, and then bring out the bonus in little Tlalamba. Okay, we just need to move the vehicle so we can make space for someone else to join us, but we're not leaving, don't worry. Just need to turn so yours can get a view as well. Okay, so while we are moving, we're just going to send you across quickly to see, I couldn't hear who, it was either Rolf or James. Let's go see what they do there.
Yes, it is Shadaloo, hey Brent, and well, you've got Thandi and Tlalamba, and it's a morning of spots, isn't it? Now that we've managed to find Xidulu. She has been looking out towards those impala off in the distance, but she doesn't look too keen on a hunt. She's panting quite heavily, so well, we know that she's been moving a vast distance this morning, and at pace. And that's why we were circling and circling and circling. And you know what? As Wiem and I decided to expand the search and come back to where we think that she might have moved off to, well, that's where the impala started calling from. So in our search, we weren't far off. And, well, the payoff was this beautiful cat. A very thick neck for a female. Lisa, distinguishing between different leopards is quite interesting, because first and foremost you'd look at personal traits or characteristics, the size of the animal, and any kind of nicks or gashes on the face. So anything that would be very clear characteristic. Like this cat, she's got a very, very thick white fluffy tail at the end. And then also later what you'd start to do is if there's nothing really that stands out, then you start to look at the dots around the whiskers, and you get the ratio from one side to the other. So while I'm holding that thought, let's just try and catch up with her, because we don't want to lose her, huh? She has now shifted on. Okay, so while I try and get a better visual on Xidulu, let's head you on back to Brent, who has still got good visuals with Thandi.
There we go. Little Tlalamba is playing around, jumping up and down the trees, and she's probably going to start trying to feed shortly. And just disappeared into the grass there. Now, we're going to make some space here, for there's quite a few other vehicles that want to get in and have a look at the sighting, but we will be back here this afternoon, and we will not leave here this afternoon. We'll spend the whole drive with them, but while the other guys want to get in and have a chance to see the leopards, we're going to let them have a chance to come in. I heard a report that there might be some lions not too far away, so I'm going to go see if we can maybe find a lion before the end of drive. Okay, so we're going to make space for the others to come in. Okay, so while we negotiate our way out of here, let's send you back to Rolf to see what Xidulu's up to next.
Okay, so everyone, yes, she's on the move. She's still eyeing out those impala, and we're just sliding up behind her. You know, we don't want to get too close, because if she is hunting, we don't want to disturb anything around that hunt. We don't want to influence anything that's going to happen there. And we do just want to respect this. So we just try and stay up nice and easy, just behind her. There's a game viewer on the other side of her. They're just going to get some nice photos and get a nice clear view of her as she comes out the thicket there. There's she going on to the other side of the road. Jacqueline, I believe that Shadaloo is slightly younger than Thandi, and she's got that youthful exuberance. I don't think she's had any litters of cubs just yet, and Thandi is slightly older. So it's all very interesting. And now she does walk like a real youngster, and the way that she runs up to him right now, she's just got so much energy. Thandi's slightly older, and you can almost see in the way that Thandi walks, a little bit more aged, a little bit more mature, if I can say that. And this is like a real youngster, but in the prime of her life. Let's try and see if we can get a bit closer there. Just easy, Tiger. Just hang on. The most proficient would be, it depends on the character, everyone. I'm just going to chat to Alvis here quickly. Sorry?
I want to know which one.
It's Xidulu. Xidulu, yes.
Yesterday was just on the Catalan, that elephant plane and Aratuza.
Okay. Yeah, she's moving a lot, eh? And this morning we've been tracking her the whole morning and really moving up Gallagher shortcut and Vubu Road, this side, and now eventually she came out here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure, eh? Enjoy, folks. Maybe. Okay. Sorry about that. Just catching up with the local guys. I just want to see where she's gone now. I lost visuals on her. And now that might have been us. She walked in there, hey. Let's just see here if she cuts through onto this open part. I don't want to lose her. We've worked so hard to find her. Ooh. Where's she gone? See that? We just left her for a couple of seconds. We don't have visual, so we're going to have to try and spot her here. There she is. She's just behind us. There she is in the thicket there. She might come towards us. She is grooming a little bit. I just want to wait and see if she... You can't see. She is still standing, so she might come out in a second. She's sort of licking her legs. But let me just turn a little bit so that Vian can get a view in there on her. I won't go in there just yet. Can you see her now, Vian? Let's see there. There, you see those spots in there, everyone. Let's just see if she comes out. Otherwise, I will go in a little bit closer. She's scratching a little bit there. Looks like she might be sitting tight, but I'll just give her a moment or two just to see. It's still nice and cool this morning actually, and it seems there might be a bit of a cold front coming through, so nice and comfortable for these cats. There she starts coming now towards us. She's going to come out a little bit further behind us. Oh, no, there she decided to go down. Wonderful to see her in the thicket like that, hey? These all guarri thickets. Starting to groom nicely again. That's wonderful. She seems to not be panting as much, so she has calmed down a bit. Now she's getting into a full groom. She's really covered some ground this morning. It's been wonderful. Now, B, thanks for your question. And the leopards in the area will get their names mostly from the local game scouts and and guides. So the local Shangaan game scouts and guides, they will watch the leopards when they are born, and hopefully start to see some characteristic traits of the animal. And one in particular, like this cat, Xidulu, which means termiteria or termite mound, given very aptly because she likes to go and lay on top of termite mounds. So they called her Shadaloo because of that characteristic trait of hers, where she loves to go and lie up on top of termite mounds. So that's how they get named, and it is by the locals, and I think there's no better way than the way that they do it. Waiting 6 to 8 months, seeing their characteristics, seeing something that they generally do, and then they name them after that. And they often do that with the local guides as well, the South Africans that come in and work as guides, and the game scouts and the local Shangaan people that work with them. They give you a period of time that they start to see your personal traits, and then they'll give you a local Shangaan name as well. So if you ever come to South Africa and spend enough time in this part of the world, you might also be given a local Shangaan name. So I'm going to try and position a little bit better without this tree in front of us, but while we do that, from a beautiful leopard to a beautiful flower on the bushwalk.
Indeed, not quite the leopard that we'd hoped to find for you on foot, but at least the very same found by Ralph. Well, actually found essentially by Rexon's ears. He heard the impala going crazy a good distance from where we are, probably about 2 kilometres away, I guess, and sent Ralph scuttling over there, and lo and behold, there was a leopard, and we have a flower. Small consolation, I suppose. I guess the flower is just as worthy of being on television as Xidulu the leopard. I'm mostly pleased, of course, that the tracks we were following were correctly identified as hers. She has got enormous feet. She really has got very big feet for a female leopard. So this is a hibiscus flower, and it might actually, you know what, I'm looking at the leaves now, and I wonder if this isn't a wild cotton. They look very similar. It might be the wild cotton Gossypium herbaceum. In fact, I think that is what it is. Let's go for wild cotton, Gossypium herbaceum. Gorgeous last flower of the summer. I keep saying that, and I'll keep saying it all the way into probably midway through May, because every so often, as the warmth remains, so we will get some very pleasant flowers. Right, now, everybody. Sorry, I was nearly attacked by Senzel's aerial there. Of all of our favourite cat characters, I have no doubt that Leo Smith and his kill will feature strongly in today's show, so join us at 4 o'clock Central African time this afternoon. Until then, I bid you a farewell and hand you back over to Xidulu and Ralph. No, not them. We're going the other way, to Brent.
Well, there we go. I said I heard that the lions had come down, were right on the northern boundary, with, I can see 2 of the 3 Avoca Boys. I'm sure the other one is... I don't know where the third one is, but I'm sure he's lying around here somewhere. They look like they're quite well fed at the moment. The Avoca Boys probably been munching on buffalo. They are really lovely lions when you get close to them like this. And looking very, very lazy. Well, all the cats have come out to play today. We've got Thandi and Xidulu and the Avoca Boys, and I've just heard Kuchava is on Djuma as well, and just been found with the cub not too far away from where we are now. So lots of prospects for this afternoon safari. We're going to give you a look at the lazy lions as they continue to slumber. I don't think they're going to move very far today. They'll probably move down towards Buffelshoek Waterhole for a drink as it gets a bit cooler this afternoon. We're not far from Buffelshoek at all, but an exciting afternoon safari is indeed on the cards. Leopards, lions, and who knows what else will appear on our live African safari. So from all of us out here in the bush, goodbye.